What's up guys, my name is AK, back again with another tactical Call of Duty video. In today's video we're taking a look at Checkmate Control and how you can win this map every time. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So if you watched the Garrison episode, or actually any of the others, you'll know that we focus on how to win attack, simply because on Control, attack is the much harder side to win. This is very defense favoured, pretty much across the board on all of the maps. So in today's video, I'll be looking at a few strats for offense on Checkmate to essentially increase your win rate on attack. And if you can't increase the win rate, essentially how you can put yourself in a better position to make sure that you get defense on that final round. So let's jump straight into that. The first thing I'm going to start with is which site do you attack first? Now, I think from everything that I've played, the success that I've found on attack on this map is always starting by going A first. I think A is the easier site to capture, and yeah, it just gives you the opportunity to capture A and then get that map pressure up to capture B afterwards. You might think B's closer, so maybe that's the first one, but generally we found that getting A is actually the easier one to do. So I think I'll show a quick little sort of setup for that now. A setup we quite like to do is, if you remember from the Garrison video, I do talk a lot about double stacking the point, having at least 2 players on to increase that capture speed. It's quite important, and yeah, if you don't really have it, you're going to struggle to sort of be able to keep the kill pressure up for long enough to probably be able to capture hills more than getting maybe like 1 tick or so. So I think what we'll do is we'll have 2 in there. It's quite a good strat to do. You have 1 on the top wing. Their job is essentially to watch all of the mid push up this side, protect their sort of inner angle here, and then you have 1 player set up top plane, maybe in the offices, sort of that can jump out on the wing. Essentially their job is to get the whole of top plane control, so all of the top plane up here, that's essentially their job to sort of keep an eye on making sure that the enemy can't flank, because the enemy could push through here and come underneath, so they can actually get the kill there. You know, there's a little door here, sort of on this side here, so if it is a push this side to try and flank round, player 4 can watch that, and they can also watch the push up the top stairs when the enemy players try and get that position in the top lane, because the top lane is a sort of power position on this map. So the players in hill are essentially going to be responsible for the push up front, and being that there's 2 of them, you can probably win that gunfight, especially if you've got 2 of them challenging on. I mean, there is a head glitch here, but if you make sure that one of these players maybe has an AR, I definitely recommend 2 ARs on this map. 1 set up on this back wing here to watch the inside, and 1 set up in hill to watch the long. Player 2 and player 4 can run your subs, your AK-74Us, your MP5s, whatever is in the meta when you're watching this video. But yeah, a good setup like this should give you a good chance of being able to capture A. And of course, if you get 4 players dead and you're close to capturing it, sure, flood it, put all your players on there, make sure you can get that cap, and then reset for B. So on the subject of B, once you've captured A, what you're going to want to do is get a setup onto B. Now, you're going to want 2 players in the point, as always. This is sort of a fairly common strat. As I say, you want 2 players to increase that capture speed. But essentially, you're going to have 2 players in the point, as I said. You're going to want 1 player sitting on the barrels. There's some barrels here, and essentially their job is just going to be to call the push out of computers and on the sort of the wooden wall thing there is here. Essentially, their job is to call that and get those kills. I'd recommend maybe an AK-74U, maybe a Krig, something that has got at least decent range to make sure that you can pick these players up and win those gunfights. Then you're going to want a player to be sat in the top plane. Now their job is to just play a corner, watch the push up to top plane, or watch out of the door to the push up to front hill. Essentially they're the annoying player that gets in, starts getting the kills, just sort of tends to annoy the other team, and I'll go into a bit more what they can do after I've explained the last player, which they're going to do. They're going to get up on the wing, and essentially their job is to watch this side of the map in case any enemy tries to flank or push around the A, to try and get under the plane side wing to try and shoot your players in the back. Essentially player 4 is going to play that information, jump down, get the kills. Essentially his job is to make sure that they can't do that. Now, if you are fortunate enough to manage to get a good few players on the enemy team dead, what player 2 can do is they can push up and they can start playing annoying in the spawn, start pushing up, sitting in the corners, playing the angles, being that annoying player that pushed up. Now, if you see my other Control videos, you'll know that I always talk about that, sending a player to get in their spawn, be annoying, drain down their lives, because it is important to kill the enemy, bring those lives down to make sure that you have the kill advantage, so that even if you don't win the offense, you still get that defense in the final round. Now, as maps go, it's not impossible to win offense on Checkmate. We have done it a few times. It's not the easiest. I think it is a bit harder than Garrison, which is the other video that I've recorded as of recording this. I think it is a bit harder, but it's certainly not impossible. The A site you can usually get fairly consistently. I think most rounds you can at least have a good chance of capping that. Then capturing B as well does get a bit harder, simply because you're sort of it's quite easy for them to expect where you're coming, because you tend to push that side or top plane. There's only really a few angles that they actually have to hold. But assuming that your slaying power is good enough, of course, you can make sure that you can get some map pressure and push up, and hopefully, try and win an offense round, which if you do, you're almost guaranteed to win the game. Now, I mentioned this in my last video, and this is what do you do if you are convinced that there's no way that you can win the offense round? Now, generally the rule is offense drains more lives than defense. Defense, you tend to be able to set up in the positions, play the head glitches, and you can tend to slay out quite well, which does mean that normally you will want to build on your kill advantages in the defense rounds and try and preserve your kill advantage as much on the offense rounds, and still hopefully try and capture the points. So what if the situation is maybe they're just better players, they got better connection, whatever, you think, yeah, there's no way really we're going to be able to win many gunfights that will make trying to win this offense round worth the amount of lives that we could potentially lose. Now, this is when you're going to want to adopt the play for the lives, make sure we get that final round strategy. So what does this involve? This basically means keeping all of your players in the spawn. All of your players need to post up on head glitches around the map, just play it slow, play it really quite jammy really, but essentially your main goal is to preserve your lives and kill the enemy team. Try and get that small life advantage that is going to sort of push you over the edge for round 5 to make sure that you get the defense. Now, this is actually quite a hard strat to discipline, because I think since Call of Duty came out, or since competitive Call of Duty has been there, always when there's an objective, your goal is to play the objective, and you want to do that. You want to hit the points, you want to try and get the captures, but you need to sort of be disciplined with yourself and your team, really. If you're the one that are calling the strats, you need to say, no, we can't do that. There's no point. We're throwing away lives. In the long term of things, it's not worth trying to capture the point, because there's no way we're going to win the round. If we play the life advantage, play our game sensible, and win the defenses, and then, yeah, you'll win 3 out of the 5 rounds and take the win on the map. So it's pretty good. It's all just really about adapting to the certain game situation. But yeah, if you do think that you can win, by all means give these strats a try. They're nice, good setups, and yeah, make sure that you've got at least 2 people in the point at any time. I can't stress that enough, because if you do want to capture it, it just makes it so much faster and reduces really the amount of overall map pressure and spawn pressure you need on the other team. So definitely give it a try if you think you can win. Now, I don't really think I need to go through anything on the defense side of things. It's all quite self-explanatory. You're just simply going to want to get the top plane control off the start. So this needs to be all of your control, have people up on the wings, and then essentially it becomes a spawn pressure kind of thing. You want to send people into the half plane if you can get the kill pressure nice and early. Say you off the bat manage to get 3 or 4 dead, you're going to want to immediately send your subs to push in, 1 on the fin, 1 in the half plane, maybe 1 through yellow, and essentially you're going to want to spawn trap them. You're going to want to be those annoying players in the back spawn that they're going to have to take care of you before they can push up to the objective. And in doing this, you'll end up draining down loads of their lives, sit on a head glitch, play it jammy, and essentially try and rack up as many kills for your team, so that maybe you can afford to try the offense round to try and capture the points without thinking, this round is going to cost us the lives, we need to make sure we get defense last. So essentially try and push up in their spawn, play as aggressive as possible, and yeah, run the clock down and take the win on the round. So that's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, be sure to drop a like, and also check the link in the description. There'll be a playlist with all of the S&D maps, all of the control maps, and eventually maybe the hardpoint maps if I add them, as well as any new maps that come in the Season 1 and any future updates to the game. So thanks a lot for watching. Hopefully you guys have an absolutely amazing day, and I'll see you all soon. Have a good one.